Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Police have taken down two banners from a major dual carriageway in the UK, encouraging drivers to loudly sound their dissatisfaction with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Banners urging motorists to beep if you think Keir Starmer is a wasteriskar, and urging the government to stop the boats, caused chaos on the A4 Portway in Bristol as a chorus of honking turned it into the loudest dual carriageway in Britain. Locals also said the response was louder than the Rolling Stones, but the banners were ultimately taken down after a patrolling officer was alerted to the mayhem. There were no official noise complaints lodged with the police, according to The Sun. A spokesperson for the Avon and Somerset Force said a patrolling officer was alerted to two signs on overbridges on the busy A4 Portway on Wednesday, August 20. Due to the potential they could result in a distraction to drivers, as well as a nuisance to nearby residents, they were removed. While Starmer has been a major player on the international stage since taking power last year, his domestic policies have attracted a barrage of negative attention, with particular criticism leveled at his attempts to tackle the illegal migration crisis. Home Office figures showed that the number of arrivals since Labour won the general election hit 50,000 this month. At the beginning of August, the PM signed a new one-in, one-out deal with France, proposing that for each migrant the UK returns to France, another person with a legitimate case for asylum in Britain will be permitted to stay. However, around 2,500 migrants crossed the channel in small boats in the 11 days after the deal took effect, bringing the total number for the year to over 28,000. Starmer's government has also been lambasted for its frenzied cost-cutting schemes since arriving in number 10, including by cutting winter fuel payments for pensioners and introducing inheritance tax on agricultural land. Labour's subsequent U-turns on unpopular policies, including winter fuel payments and the grooming gang inquiry, have done little to turn the tide of public opinion, and a recent wave of asylum hotel protests, after the amount of taxpayer-funded accommodation for migrants rose by 8% during Labour's first year in office, suggests it won't be budging anytime soon. Next, Avon and Somerset Police later confirmed they had removed the banners after receiving reports of disruption. A patrolling officer was alerted to two signs on overbridges on the busy A4 Portway on Wednesday, August 20, a spokesperson said. Due to the potential they could result in a distraction to drivers, as well as a nuisance to nearby residents, they were removed. No official noise complaints were lodged, but officers deemed the banners a safety hazard. The constant honking risked causing accidents, particularly as some drivers swerved or braked suddenly in excitement to join in the protest. By the evening, both banners were gone, but the debate they sparked was only just beginning. While the signs themselves were crude and arguably juvenile, many saw them as a symbol of deeper dissatisfaction with Keir Starmer's government, which came to power just over a year ago after Labour's landslide election win. Starmer had campaigned on promises of stability and pragmatism. Yet once in office, his policies quickly stirred controversy. His government has faced criticism over its approach to illegal migration, austerity-style cost-cutting, and a string of unpopular U-turns. The beep if you think sign captured a raw frustration bubbling beneath the surface of polite political discourse. For some, it was cathartic to join in with a blast of the horn, however fleeting. It's a very British protest, said political analyst Dr. Helen Jarvis. Low effort, cheeky, disruptive. But it says a lot about where public opinion is right now. Much of the anger aimed at Starmer stems from the ongoing migration crisis. According to Home Office figures, more than 28,000 people have crossed the channel in small boats so far this year. Earlier this month, Starmer signed a new one-in, one-out deal with France. The agreement states that for each migrant returned to France, the UK would accept one asylum seeker with a legitimate case to stay. But critics have branded the scheme toothless. In the 11 days after it came into effect, 2,500 migrants still managed to cross the channel. People are tired of broken promises, said Nigel Hall, who joined a protest outside a migrant hotel in Weston-super-Mare last week. We voted for change, and all we've got is more of the same. That's why something like a banner on a bridge gets traction, because people feel ignored. Migration isn't the only thorn in the government's side. Labour's first year has been marked by attempts to slash spending, triggering uproar among pensioners, farmers, and working families. The government initially cut winter fuel payments for pensioners, only to U-turn after a fierce backlash. It introduced inheritance tax on agricultural land, sparking protests from farmers. It promised an inquiry into grooming gangs, then backtracked after concerns about cost. The result? A public increasingly skeptical of Starmer's leadership. He came in promising honesty and competence, said Bristol resident Mark Webb. But all we've seen are knee-jerk policies and backtracking. The honking might be childish, but it reflects a real mood of frustration. Political banners encouraging motorists to honk are nothing new, but few have caused such disruption as the Portway protest. Within hours of the signs going up, social media was flooded with videos of the road sounding like a stadium. Clips showed lorries letting out booming horns while cyclists shook their heads in disbelief. Others showed drivers laughing and giving thumbs up as they contributed to the cacophony. Some online commenters compared it to a festival atmosphere, dubbing it the Portway Proms. Others accused the drivers of reckless behavior. By Wednesday evening, hashtags like A4 Portway and Starmer sign were trending among UK political circles online. For people living near the Portway, reactions were mixed. "I thought it was hilarious," said student Emily Ward. "It was just people having fun and showing what they think of politicians. Nobody got hurt, but others were less amused. I've got 2 small children who couldn't nap all afternoon," said mother of 2 Rachel Turner. "It was like living next to a football stadium." Local councillors, too, were divided. One Conservative member described the signs as a wake-up call to Labour. A Labour councillor dismissed them as a childish stunt that achieved nothing but noise pollution. Downing Street did not officially comment on the Portway incident. Starmer himself, on a trip to Paris for talks with President Macron, was asked by reporters about the banners. He chuckled and said, "I'll let the horns speak for themselves." His allies attempted to play down the matter, insisting the government remains focused on delivering for working people. But behind the scenes, Labour strategists are said to be increasingly worried about the growing perception that Starmer is out of touch. Experts say the incident is part of a long tradition of British satire and irreverent protest. From the spitting image puppets of the 1980s to today's viral memes, mocking politicians has long been a national pastime. What makes the Portway signs interesting is how quickly they resonated, said Dr. Jarvis. It wasn't a planned campaign, it wasn't orchestrated by a party. It was grassroots mischief, and it worked. The Prime Minister faces mounting challenges both at home and abroad. With migration figures rising, public services under strain, and Labour's majority already looking fragile in by-elections, incidents like the Portway banners could become symbolic of a larger shift in public mood. Pollsters say Labour still holds a lead nationally, but that lead has narrowed since the election. One survey last week found that 46% of voters now disapprove of Starmer's performance, compared with 31% who approve. If that trend continues, the sound of honking horns in Bristol may come to be remembered as an early warning. By Thursday morning, the Portway was back to its usual rhythm of traffic jams and engine noise. The banners were gone, but stories of the honking protest continued to spread across the UK. Some motorists admitted they'd missed the signs but joined in anyway, honking in solidarity with those who had. Others said they hoped the banners would reappear elsewhere. Meanwhile, police warned that similar stunts could result in fines if they risked distracting drivers. For now, the Portway incident remains a curious footnote in Britain's ongoing political drama, a reminder that sometimes protest doesn't come in marches or speeches, but in the simple press of a car horn. The A4 Portway banners may have lasted less than a day, but they captured a moment in Britain's political life. They highlighted the frustrations of voters, the creativity of protest, and the uniquely British way of turning anger into absurdity. Whether one sees it as childish vandalism or a powerful statement, there's no denying it made noise, quite literally. And in a political landscape where many feel ignored, perhaps that's exactly the point. As one Bristol driver put it, grinning after laying on his horn, "Sometimes you've just got to beep." What do you think? Genius protest or just noise? Comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.